One of the beautiful things about living in Florida is access to fresh seafood. And I love fresh seafood, just like these beautiful grouper fillets here. And I'm seasoning them with some blackening seasoning, a little salt and pepper, some parsley, some minced garlic, and then also curry butter, which is going to be a part of the sauce. And you'll see that we're heating up the skillet, making that sauce with the curry butter, a stick of it, a teaspoon of the minced garlic. So not a lot of flavor there because you don't want it to overpower the fish. Grouper is one of those fish that it's tender and flavorful and all by itself, and it doesn't need a whole bunch of seasoning. And so I get ready to put it in the pan there after basting it with the butter sauce, and it's searing on that side, and I'm going to let it sear probably 3 to 5 minutes on each side, and then flip it on the next side. And each time that I flip it, I'm going to baste it in the butter because I do want it to soak up the sauce without being overly salty or overly flavored with anything else but the blackening seasoning and a little bit of salt and pepper that I put on the fillets earlier. But you'll see why when I show you in just a second. But anyway, you make sure that those are good and seasoned each time you flip them. And right there, I'm getting ready to flip it. And that's about halfway through, and then flipping it again with the other two pieces that are there. And they will, as you continue to flip them, they'll look really good and really nice, and the color will just really come in, and you'll see the flavor just really searing into each piece as you can continue to flip them. And I'm doing this because I have some really thick pieces of grouper here. The fish house gave me some really, really thick pieces, and so it takes a little bit of time to cook. And this is after they've been flipped a couple of times, and you see how it's getting the flavor and getting that the look of some really done and really delicious fish coming up. And once that's done, I get ready to baste it one more time, and then I'm gonna finish off the cooking because it's really thick. I like to put it in the oven to make sure that it's done, and also the oven just provides that last little bit of searing that's needed to just complete the fish. And so I'll prepare the shrimp now, and doing it the same way, just a little bit of salt and pepper on the shrimp, not a whole lot, because the butter sauce that I made earlier, I'm going to use that same butter sauce on these shrimp, and they're going to make them sear up really nice as well. And so putting them into the skillet, the cast iron skillet there, and then basting them with that butter sauce so that they can get flavor on each side and get that flavor all the way through the shrimp. And I'm going to let them sit on the fire for just a little while. As you know, it doesn't take long for shrimp to cook, so you let them sit there a little while and then flip them over. When I say a little while, I'm talking about maybe a couple of minutes just to sear on that side, and then taking the tongs and then flipping those over to the next side so that they can continue to sear in and get the flavor all up in there. But you'll see that's happening there. And after I finish with my shrimp, I throw a little bit of cherry tomatoes into the pan, and I leave all the drippings in there because I want the flavor to get into those cherry tomatoes. And then you gotta remember, that's butter, so it's good. It's gonna be really, really good. And so I start the base of my dish with some salad greens and some feta cheese. And so at the bottom of the plate, I put the salad greens and then sprinkle it with feta cheese on each plate. And the feta will give it such a nice taste. And when you see what I'm going to add next, you'll understand why. Because all of these flavors are going to work together to give us a really nice and tasty dish. And there we are, some black beans. So on top of the salad greens, I'm adding some black beans. And those have been seasoned with onions, a little bit of garlic sauce, and just cooked down. And so putting them on top of the salad greens as a base for the fish. And there it is. I put a piece of fish on each one. And this one has the shrimp that's been added and a little sprig of rosemary on top just for decoration. But the cherry tomatoes are on the bottom with the feta cheese. And that's just one with the fish there. So without the shrimp, just to show you what that looks like. And it's a really, really tasty dish. I mean, just really, really enjoyable. I mean, the flavors, I mean, just sing in your mouth. It is delicious. So Anyway, if you like fish, if you like grouper, you like shrimp, this one is going to make you happy. You